Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Rob here with Hammer Halo Projects. Back on another job. In this video, we're going to show you how easy it is to install this vinyl laminate click flooring. So let's get into it. So this is the floor we're going to install today. It's a vinyl click product. We're only doing the living room, the entrance, kitchen, dining room, hallway, and storage closet. So not a big job. Shouldn't take us more than a couple days. We're getting a late start today, so a day and a half probably to lay this floor. So just give you a little tour of what we're doing here. Basically from the front entrance in through the living room, which is not very big, through the kitchen, dining room, down the hallway, and finally into the storage closet. This is one of those jobs where the owner has asked us to wear our masks in here. I guess I shouldn't complain too much. Just having the work these days is a blessing, so I'm not going to complain. We have to wear a mask. So these are exactly like laying any laminate floor. They click together. You've got a wide side and a small side. You just lift it up, set it in place, and tap it down. And it's almost seamless all the way down. The big thing you gotta remember is just to allow a minimum of 6 inches between seams.
Anytime you're installing a new floor, you want to make sure the floor is completely clean. So make sure to sweep and vacuum before you start.
Because we're below grade in this building, this is acting as a vapor barrier. It has a vapor barrier seal on the one side. Typically, if you're laying this on a wood substrate, you wouldn't have to use another layer, but because this is concrete and below grade, we're going to use another layer just to be safe. So anytime we do a large area like this, you want to pick the longest wall. In this case, it's this living room wall. It comes in from the front entrance all the way to the opposite end of the suite. That will be our straight wall, and we will run everything off of that. We get our first 2 runs straight and square with the room off of that wall, and then the rest of the floor should drop in nice and smooth. You also always want to leave a 1/4 inch between the wall and the floor. It is a floating floor, so it does need to move around. Sometimes this is what we're up against. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's a big bow in this wall. You can see we are about 1 inch away right there, and we're tight right there. So now, in order to get this straight and true, we have to scribe this first piece. So we'll go ahead and scribe that, get it cut to fit the wall, and then everything else should move smoothly across the room. So normally I would use a washer to scribe this. What I mean by washer is basically I don't have one with me, but I'll use the round part of this wrench, and just by putting it on the board and following the wall, you can then get a line that you can cut out. And then what that does is gives you the same contour of the wall onto the floor. And you can see the contour. What's happening is there's a concrete pillar in the wall right here, and it's pushing the wall out. So all we did was contour the floor to match the wall, and then we have a straight line running on the outside edge of the hardwood. The first row is always the hardest. Now I cut this stuff really super easy. I'm just going to use my speed square, and all you got to do is score it and then snap it, and Bob's your uncle. If you have an uncle named Bob, I guess. So now on this final one, I've had to cut it from nothing to 1 inch on this end. Again, first row being really, really important. And as long as you get the first row set properly, then everything else will run smoothly. Typically I use this blue tuck tape to tape the seams of the underpad. It seems to work really good. As always, I'll put a link in the description below, along with all the tools that we use and the products we use for each project. And you don't want to overlap the seams, you want it to flush up to each other. Well, I think we're gonna call it a day. We got a late start. Didn't start till about 11:30 today. It's now 4:30. We can only work here till 5, so we're gonna clean up a little bit and we'll be back in the morning. Okay guys, we are back. It's the second day now. We got a fresh start and we are back with a vengeance. So we're gonna knock this floor out today, get it all done. We're not leaving till it's done, so let's get to it. So as you can see, the casings drop all the way to the floor on some of these doors, not all of them, but some of them. This one, right to the concrete. What we want to do is undercut this so that the flooring can slide underneath the casing. What you have to do is lay down your foam, then lay your flooring on top of that, and then I'm going to use a multi-tool to undercut these casings. And you pull that piece out, and now you'll see that the wood can slide right under the casing, and it's a nice clean look. Looks like the floor was here before the base, and that's what we want. And you've got to look inside the jamb as well, because if this drops right to the floor, you're going to have to cut the whole jamb as well. But in our case, it looks like it's going to slide right under, so we're okay. You can also use a pull saw or an undercut saw, hand saw if you want. I just find this is so much easier. And make sure your wood slides underneath and you are good. So when we come to a door opening where the flooring changes, such as this bedroom, there's going to be carpet installed in the bedroom and then our vinyl flooring up to the carpet. So typically we use a metal threshold. I'm going to try something a little different. This threshold is, I'm not even sure what it's called, but that's the profile on it. And the idea is that the flooring will slide into it the full ½ inch, and that'll allow the floor to still move as it needs to move. The carpet installer can butt his carpet right up to it, and it should be a nice clean line when it's done. So I've never used this one before. It's meant for tile, but we're going to try it on this floor just to see how it works. And I'm sure it'll be fine. This one's gonna be challenging because I've got 1, 2, 3 doors to go into. Right, the moment of truth. Good luck. Good luck, my friend. I might have to just shave a little off of that to slide it in. I don't know. I don't know yet. Get under there. Alright guys, we're on the final stretch. It's the last closet to do. We've been at this, not 10 hours, we've been at it 12 hours. I thought it was 10, but it's 12. And I'm gonna end up cutting all the pieces. Matt's gonna throw them in place, click them into place, and then we're out of here. All right guys, we are done this floor. It took about 12 hours. Just to give you a bit of a shot of what it looks like now. Remember, it was all concrete before. Took two of us 12 hours to do it, so really it's 24 hours. So 3 days, shouldn't have taken that long, but I think the end result turned out really good. Kitchen looks really good. Still waiting on countertops. Still have to do the base in here, but all in all, I think it's a massive improvement. Down the hallway, and these thresholds on each door opening. The storage closet, and into the bathroom. Just a regular apartment bathroom. So my take on this laminate floor is, I think it's a really good product. Number one, because it's 100% waterproof. So if you do have a spill or a leak, it's easy to dry out, pull up, put some fans underneath it. There's lots of ways to not lose this floor. So that in itself, having it being 100% waterproof, I think is the biggest benefit. And really it looks pretty good. I mean, it's meant to emulate wood, and it's got the gray tones. All in all, I think it's pretty good, and especially for a rental unit like this is. I think it's tough to find a floor that will hold up to the abuse that some rental places get. So this over typical laminate flooring in this application as a rental, I would have to choose this vinyl flooring. It's fairly easy to work with, super easy to cut, and again, 100% waterproof. So I give it a thumbs up. That's going to do it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit the like button below, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.